Welcome to Super Life with me, Darren Oline, a podcast where we explore, discover, and share solutions that promote a healthier life and a better world. Together, we'll ignite possibilities, inspire change, and build sovereignty, creating a roadmap towards a super life for you and for all. Get ready to start living your super life. Hey everybody, welcome to the show. This is Darren Oline, and this is the Super Life podcast. That's right, Super Life. I want you to have one, and I strive to have one every day. And there's a lot of aspects to having a super life. There literally is not one thing. There's not one pill. There's not one perfect action to combat all of what life is and throws at us in the complexity of our human body. In this episode of Super Life, I'm going to highlight 6 holistic wellness topics people often get wrong and why you need to get them more right. So, holistic wellness is about really integrating physical, mental, emotional, social dimensions of health. It really is all of this and even more. While there's no shortage of health hacks, quick fix advices, and many of these tips that focus too narrow on what really is going on. And also, it focuses on incomplete science. Below, we address 6 commonly misunderstood facts. Below, we address 6 common misunderstood facets of holistic wellness, providing quotes from current research, digging up that research, and most importantly, actionable steps that you can do and you can take, and then also you can provide to your family members. So like and subscribe this episode, and please pass it along, because don't you want everyone to have a super life? If everyone does have a super life and everyone is more healthy and happy and fulfilled and on purpose, to be less of us calling out people, being negative, criticizing, all of it is a bloody projection. I want you to be self-sovereign, taking responsibility for your life and taking steps to better your life. Not perfect, just progress. The first underutilized or misunderstood facet of health is the vital role of circadian rhythm in and on wellness and what people get wrong. I've talked about circadian rhythm, but I want to bring about it in a different way today. Many people think that sleeping 7 to 8 hours is enough. That's right. I'm fine. I sleep 7 to 8 hours. And then they think regardless of when those hours occur. Well, that is important to understand, because our internal clocks, which is our circadian rhythm, every cell, every process, every organ is geared to that internal circadian rhythm that is the rhythm of this planet. It is powerful. So if you swim upstream, it's going to affect you. So this process and this circadian rhythm within the body is exceptionally sensitive to consistent light, meal timing, stress, you name it. And disrupting these patterns can lead to metabolic challenges, weight gain, inflammation, mood disorders, and so on. So, why it matters? Well, in Nature, a study in 2015 said this: chronic sleep deficiency is associated with increased risk of obesity, diabetes, cardiovascular disease, and other illnesses. Think about that. If you're not sleeping, if you're throwing off and it's like, I'm just a night person, so I stay up until 1 a.m, well, you're swimming upstream and you're causing yourself unnecessary harm. Hormonal timing is also extremely important. Proper circadian alignment maximizes your melatonin. Your pituitary gland is so dialed to your circadian rhythm and to light in our environment. Now, light pollution is a thing. That's right. Have you heard of that before? Light pollution. If we turn on too much light in our own home environment, as well as the environment at large, turning lights on in our environment, in our yards, in street lights, all of this stuff is also disturbing to the flow of nature itself, of animals, migratory patterns, stress responses. It's not just us, it's them too. So what can we do? Well, there's immediate benefit. Improving sleep regularity can yield better and better mental clarity and mood within the day, almost immediately. You know this. When you've gotten bad sleep, you're in a bad mood. Can happen. Long-term payoff is huge. A stable sleep-wake cycle helps prevent chronic illness like type 2 diabetes and heart disease. Just regular, consistent sleep cycles. Go with nature. So it's not just about 7 to 8 hours of sleep a night. It's about when. It's about the preparation. It's about the consistency. When the sun goes down, your melatonin starts to kick in, unless you start flipping on lights and staring at screens. That starts to disturb your flow, your hormones, your stress response, your sympathetic stress and inflammation, all of these things. But what can you do about it? Be consistent. Set a fixed, as close as you can, certainly during the week and the weekend, you'll find. I know you're going to say, I want to live. I get it, but I want you to live a super life. Set a fixed bedtime and wake up time, even on the weekends. I try to abide by that. I barely ever go past 9 p.m. Hell, the other night I was so tired, I fell asleep at 7:15 p.m. I just went with it. I didn't want to watch anything. I didn't want to do it. And it was so dark, I've turned off all lights on my property. I don't turn on lights when the sun goes down. I turn on maybe a lava lamp. Not really a lava lamp, a salt lamp, right? So dim orange light. Certainly you can turn on red light and illuminate. It's less stress on the body. It doesn't have the blue light spectrums. And you can certainly do that. But be consistent. And then, you've heard this before from many other people. Morning sunlight. Aim for 10 to 20 minutes of exposure in the morning light before 10 a.m. This helps to reset, tune in the internal clock. So, and certainly you've heard this before, but screen curfew. Help to eliminate or dim down as much as you can these electronic screens before you go to bed. I switched. I love watching and turning my head off and watching a silly show. But I've made a commitment to start reading before I go to bed. And I tell you what, it's a much better flow, and I realize how tired I am before I've overstimulated myself from a show. The second thing, people underestimate the power of the gut microbiome. And people often get this wrong. Many treat digestion as simply processing the nutrients, whatever they ate. It's gonna digest and assimilate in my body, and it is what it is. In reality, the gut microbiome is billions of microorganisms. They're all over in your digestive system, large and small intestine. Even the process of breaking down food starts in your mouth, certainly with carbohydrates and amylase. So when you treat your body with whole food, better quality food, it helps to regulate your microbiome, balances your microbiome, and regulates your immune system. The immunity that you have is dictated on the diversity of your microbiome. It helps your mental health and even weight management. So again, you're flowing with nature. Some of the science says the diet microbiota interaction. Study in 2016 by Nature quoted, diet microbiota interactions are major modulators of the host's metabolism. That's you. They are their own entities. But whatever you feed them, it's going to allow for good, better bacteria to thrive if it's whole, healthy, less processed food, as opposed to ultra processed. The immune system, the immunity and mood are really connected together. Roughly 70% of the immune system is located in your gut. 70%. Imagine if you're under stress and then you're just eating whatever and going to sleep. God forbid you drink. No judgment here. But all of that throws off your entire sleep cycle. You can make the argument that a hangover is such a disturbance. It's not necessarily the alcohol, but it's the poison your body's trying to get rid of and disrupts the natural hormonal flow and melatonin production. Thereby, the brain was unable to rest and recover. So you have a hangover. So why do this right away? The immediate benefits of a diverse, full, whole food, fiber-rich food helps to improve the gut balance. And it does take time. If you're not eating a lot of fiber, if you're not eating a lot of whole food, that can create a bit of challenge right away to change out that microbiota in your system. And over time, this will decrease bloating, this will improve energy, and this can happen within a few weeks, and all of these other benefits. The long-term play of this is a healthy microbiome offers protection against obesity, metabolic disorders, weight gain, like I said, obesity. Hold on, let me say that again. The long-term benefits of a healthy microbiome offers protection against obesity, metabolic conditions, and chronic inflammation. And this is stress on the body. So, probiotic-rich foods. You actually don't need to reach and find the latest probiotic. You can incorporate yogurt. I eat yogurt kefir every day with a whole bunch of fruit. So you can look for yogurts, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, all of these things on a somewhat consistent basis every week. This can change the diversity. Fiber itself can change the diversity focus in your microbiome. Load up on fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, nuts, seeds, beans. These things are loaded with beneficial fiber, regardless of some weird-ass influencer telling you different. Cut back on the junk. Avoid sugary, ultra-processed foods that your microbiome is addicted to. This feeds the harmful gut microbiome, and you don't need that. The third thing people misunderstand is the potential power of breath work. That's right. It's not a woo-woo thing. This is dated back for tens of thousands of years. It's now just in the lexicon of everyone's doing breath work. That's good. Learn to breathe through your nose. The natural nitric oxide that's produced. The upper respiratory system changes. The body's ability to receive oxygen improves. This can improve the sympathetic, parasympathetic response, the resiliency to stress, and downshift you into better digestion. So then this meets up with the microbiome. Because the more you breathe consciously, like say right before a meal, your body's now receptive and better able to receive that food, because it's not about the food. Well, it is about the food, but it's not. It's about what your body and your microbes are able to receive and then get into your bloodstream. So there was a great study in 2005, and they were talking about Kriya Yoga. And accompanying this breath practice can rapidly reduce anxiety, stress, depression, and can be a beneficial adjunct to the treatment of a large variety of stress-sensitive medical conditions. This is based in science. The parasympathetic activation. This basically is no stress. Slow, steady breathing boosts the vagal tone. Slow, steady breathing boosts your vagal tone, engaging in the rest and digest system. If you literally just before every meal, of course you can say a prayer and gratitude, but breathe in the nose, out the mouth. Goes a long way. And your immediate benefit can happen within minutes. A 5-minute session of 4 breath count on the way in, a 7 hold for 7, and then slow, like you're breathing out through a straw. 8, lowers heart rate, lowers blood pressure. Bam, within minutes. Regular practice, let's say you started including that before every meal. Now you have regular practice. That rewires the stress responses, making you more resilient to life, to daily challenges. How great is that? You don't have to buy anything. You can just do this. So you can do 5, 5, 5, 5, which is 5 in, 5 hold, 5 out, and 5 on the out hold. You can do 4, 7, 8. You can box breathe, like I said, 4, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5. This is it. I'm giving this to you. Take this. Because daily consistency of 5 to 10 minutes a day, start your day before each meal, has a powerful effect on all systems. The other thing that people misunderstand, they overlook the impact of stress management. What does that mean? Well, people often accept chronic stress as a normal part of life. I have to admit, I do too. It's part of me that when stress happens, I either ruminate in my brain and make it worse, or I use it to motivate me, which is not necessarily the greatest thing. Whereas if I get out and I go for a walk, do some breathing, take the dogs for a run, all of this stuff shifts from chronic to more resiliency. And this has massive and significant changes in the mental and physical health. A study in 2007 by JAMA, incredible medical journal, chronic psychological stress is associated with the body losing its ability to regulate the inflammatory response. So imagine you don't need a special pill. You can do this on a consistent basis and lower inflammation in your body. This is powerful because this thwarts some of the progression of potential of disease. Prolonged stress keeps cortisol levels high, leading to chronic and increased inflammation, weight gain, and of course, burnout. Simple interventions like short mindfulness breaks, like I said, the breathing, and then of course, long-term benefits reduces heart disease, obesity, and potentially helps to improve mental disorders. So set reminders for these brief intentional pauses. Physical activity where you're breathing consciously. When you're exercising, try to in the nose, out the mouth. Go for long walks. Shut it down. It doesn't always have to be intense. Yoga, strength training, all of these things helps to clear some of the excess stress. And if you really need and you have a lot of stress and it feels like you can't handle it, please seek professional support. Find a great therapist and let it out. Okay, so the fifth misunderstood facet of holistic health, the role of social connection in wellness. What people get wrong, having hundreds of friends online does not equal meaningful connections. Sorry to say. True social support has yet to transfer into having a lot of people follow you on social media. True social support goes beyond these likes and comments. The science, a great study in 2010 by PLOS Medicine, the overall effect of social relationships on mortality risk is comparable to quitting smoking. That's how powerful it is. The more social connections you have, the more you go out of your way to connect with those people, has a very powerful effect on your health, comparable to quitting smoking. Close relationships help buffer the psychological stress that I was talking about earlier, helps to lower heart rate and lower blood pressure. Immediate benefit, even one supportive interaction, a good friend having a good talk, can boost mood and reduce stress hormones, period. Over the long haul, a stable social network fosters resiliency, better mental health, and longevity. Some of the longest, biggest studies that improve our overall health resides in this category. We want so much to have the next pill or the next supplement or the next medicinal mushroom. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but it can't even come close to the power of healthy social connection. Schedule in-person meetups that maybe have nothing to do with a project. Video chats certainly are helpful and beneficial. Getting together for coffee, tea, smoothie, and community involvement. Of course, join local groups, volunteer organizations, and of course, if you have hobbies and you guys like to do things, do that in groups. And when you're connecting, make sure to actively listen without listening to then jump in. Listen to the other person. This is something myself and everyone can improve on. This is giving someone undivided attention which also strengthens existing relationships and is very powerful. The sixth thing that people often get wrong, we may flippantly talk about it, but the necessity of eating whole foods and reducing ultra-processed foods. We're all in these habits. We're all eating based on the programming that we've created in our lives. What people often get wrong around this is they assume counting calories, I think people still do that, alone is the key to weight management. So don't eat as much and all that stuff. And yes, to a degree, that's important. To overeat and not do anything, the math is going to go against you. However, recent studies have revealed that the source and the quality of those calories matters enormously. And ultra-processed foods can also drive, because they're made that way, hyper-palatable to get you to overeat. And guess what happens when you're overeating? Longevity markers go down, inflammation goes up, and chronic disease risk goes up. According to Hall in 2019, in Cell Metabolism, when participants were given unlimited access to ultra-processed diets, they consumed approximately 500 more calories per day, every day, compared to those on a minimally processed whole food diet. So nutrient density, which exists in whole food, natural, unprocessed, without pesticides and herbicides and other biological stressors, versus empty, potentially toxic calories like ultra-processed food. Ultra-processed food often contains these artificial flavors, dyes, additives, refined carbohydrates, rancid, unhealthy fats, and also lacking a huge amount of fiber, vitamins, minerals, antioxidants found naturally in whole food. This imbalance contributes to long-term metabolic issues, period. Swapping out ultra-processed snacks for whole food. So, if you're grabbing a muffin or a bagel or whatever you're grabbing and not consciously thinking about, grab an apple, an orange, a banana, nuts, seeds. It is the first, and it's the OG of quick food. Fast food has already been created by nature. Grab a banana, peel it, eat it. Maybe put some almond butter on it. Oh my God. An apple with Barucha butter, almond butter is a divine whole food snack. So shop the perimeter. You've heard this. Focus on fruits, vegetables, nuts, seeds, legumes, whole grains. And these are found in the outside part of the grocery store. Spend very limited time in the processed part of the grocery store. Read the labels. If you are buying something with labels, we all do. But the hidden sugars, refined oils, artificial additives, sweeteners, all of that stuff. Plan ahead, meal prep. It's so easy. I make a salad in 7 minutes. I make my fruit bowl in 4 minutes. And those are 2 whole food meals that I've had. My sprouts take 5 to 7 days for a full nutrient-dense food for 25 cents. This is it. These are the 6 things that if you follow these things, it's going to take you 98% there towards your health. And then whatever chemistry or biology or lack that you have, get tests, find a good practitioner. But this will get you there. Holistic wellness isn't about mastering just one area. We got to get out of this reductionism. This modern day healthcare system, even the pharmaceutical system is all about take this. Don't worry about changing what created that situation or environment in your body. Just take this thing and it will take all your problems away. It's not true, and you know that. So it's all of these things. And then taking atomic habits moving forward, exercise, being aware of your calories, but all from the whole food. True wellness is involved in allowing for the internal clock to be set with nature, supporting your gut health, practicing mindful breath work also helps manage stress. This is cultivating genuine change. And then you cultivate genuine social connections and nourishing your body with real whole foods, real relationships. All of this stuff is back to nature. Each of these areas can offer immediate advantages. Better mood, less bloating, increased vitality, better sleep. The long-term payoffs will pay you so much because you're sitting in your past choices right now as you listen to this. So what are you going to do now? This will help lower risks of chronic diseases, enhance immunity, improve mental health. There's some great studies I pulled. Make sure to check out the show notes. But by incorporating these 6 pillars, circadian alignment, gut health, breath work, stress management, social connections, and whole food focused diets into your daily life, and constantly being an advocate for your own health, you'll lay a foundation for both immediate and long-term vitality and health. It's not just one thing. It's all of these things to create your super life. Okay. Remember, you have the power to change. Even if it feels like you don't, you do. I love you.